Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to my completed pages video for the month of April. I have finished around 30 pages, which isn't as much as in the past 2 months, but I kind of got back into diamond painting, so that's the reason why I had to divide some of my time between coloring and another hobby. So yeah, naturally I have less pages, but let's get right into it. So the first page I'm going to show you is in Spooky Cutie by Coco Wyo, and it is this cute little page here with the ghost character doing some stuff on their laptop, and I used quite some Posca glitter pens because I am trying to use them up because I want to get another set since the yellow one is empty. So yeah, that's my first page for the month. I think it's really cute, and I think generally this book is coming along nicely. I do hope to work in this more consistently. So yeah, Spooky Cutie. Next up is also by Coco Wyo, Into Gardens, and I finished 2 pages last month. And it's this cute page here with the 2 foxes seeking some shelter from the rain, done in colored pencils, very cute. And then this night scene here, doing some night fishing. And yeah, I think both of these pages turned out pretty cute. And Into Gardens is also one of my favorite of these cute little square books. I also hope to work more in here. Then we have Little Cuties by Little Cottage, and I simply did the 2 next pages in line, which is this cute little page here with the bear and the rabbit doing some bubbles. And then this space page here, which didn't really turn out very spectacular because, I did think about doing some kind of galaxy effect in the background, but I chickened out in the last moment because I never done that before, and I didn't have the patience to look at a couple of tutorials. So I just did it black. Maybe one day I will go back in with some acrylic paint markers and make some more colorful background. But yeah, right now this is what it looks like. And again, I used some glitter markers to give the page a bit more pop. So that was Little Cuties. Then we have Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liddahall Oberg. And I did the 4th page in this book, which is this one of the lady letting it rain down. And yeah, it turned out pretty colorful. I did use some glitter effects here and there. And yeah, it's actually, I don't think it turned out really bad, but I also don't really like how it turned out. I think so far, it's the worst page of the 4 that I have done. This was the first page I did. Then I did the octopus one, and then I did the bunny one, and then this one is kind of meh. But oh well, it's a page done, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. It's what it is, and I hope the next page will turn out better in Fairy Tales and Folklore. And then, like almost every month, we have Gabby Wolf Flowers, and I did this pretty little flower mandala. I do like the color combination. I opted for no background. I did do background in the past, like here and there. But in that case, because of all the little fiddly things here, I think the background would not have really suited the page, so I left it as it is. And yeah, I'm glad to have another page done in here. Also like how this book is coming along, working towards finishing it, and that was the page for this month, or last month, better said, in Flowers. Another book I tried to work more consistently in is Hello Country Spring by Joshua Dunbar, and I did the poppy page with the bees, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty cute. Nothing too spectacular, just an ordinary red for the poppies, and then some blue for the background. I also like to see the colored pages in this book growing because I aim to finish it one day. Yeah, really love Joshua Dunbar's artwork. So yeah, that was that page. Another author I really like, or better said illustrator, is Morgan O'Brien, and I do want to work more in his books. So I worked again in April in the Matchstick Mouse Floral, and I did this page, the mouse doing some spring cleaning, really cute. Did it all in colored pencils, and I like how it turned out. Yeah, what else can I say? That is that. Then one of the earliest books that I've gotten by Camellia Angelkova is 50 Ocean Miniatures. It's also the book I have the most finished pages in, but unfortunately the page for April did not turn out very well because I used the shuttle art pencils, and as you can see, they're just way less pigmented than other pencil sets that I own, so it turned out a little streaky and just not as vibrant, for example, as this page or this page or this page that I did with the Artex pencils. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my 172 set of shuttle art pencils, at least on the Amazon paper. Then they don't turn out that well. Maybe I'll try them again on different paper. But yeah, at least it's one more page done in here, because these are 50 pages of artwork, and yeah, still have a lot to do. As you can see, I started all the way back with alcohol markers and pretty much switched to colored pencils. I just really like how it turned out. I just still really like this page from, I think it was March. I think this was March's page. So yeah, but you know, a page is a page, so done with that. Then another Camellia Angelkova is the 50 Easter and Spring Fairy Houses, and I did this page. And I do like how it turned out. Very vibrant colors. I didn't use a lot of those white dot highlights that I have started using a lot on this page specifically. I just liked how it looked the way it was, so I decided to leave it like that. As you can see, I tried to use a pretty limited color palette of blues, yellows, pinks, and of course green for the leaf elements. And yeah, I like how it turned out, and I really like this book. I think the artwork in here is super adorable. I also like that it is framed, so you don't have to worry too much about the background. Usually you just have to color it in, or you make a sky background or whatever. But yeah, really, really love the illustrations in here. And then another one of her older books is 50 Jungle Miniatures, and I just barely started in here. I did the title page down here, and as you can see, in contrast to the other page, I used a lot of the white dot highlights here, but I think it suits this image. I do like how it turned out, and I also used it here in the This Book Belongs to page, also some glitter Posca here for the writing, and yeah, I like how it turned out, and I can't wait to start a proper page in here, because this is also, even though it is her older artwork and her lines were thinner, I think the artwork is still very beautiful, and I am looking forward to work more in here. So I have a good start, I would say. Looks pretty cute. So that was 50 Jungle Miniatures. Then I have this super random stained glass book, and I just finished a page in here to use up some of my acrylic markers. That's why it looks pretty simple. No shading, some of the glitter Poscas that I have too many of, at least, you know, some leftovers until I can get a new set. And yeah, you know, I think the artwork in here is pretty simple, but I do like it, and stained glass is one of my favorite themes. So yeah, a pretty quick and simple page done in here, stained glass. Then we're getting to our color by number Disney books from Hachette Heroes, and here we have portraits. And the first page I did was not this one, but this one. I think this is it Bolt? Bolt? Spot? Something like that. No, Spot, it was the dinosaur, right? I haven't seen these movies. I haven't seen a lot of those Disney movies, but yeah, this looks pretty cute, how it's just lying upside down chewing on the carrot, which is, I assume, a toy because it has a face and not a real carrot, but it looks pretty cute. Then with colored pencils, and then I did Mushu, which also turns out pretty nice. I do really like the contrast of the blues and the reds. Really makes the image pop. As always, I used colored pencils, even though this book is single-sided and you could use alcohol markers. I have tried alcohol markers in the single-sided Hachette books, but I don't like the paper. Or better said, the paper doesn't like the markers because it just sucks them dry and they turn out streaky. So for me personally, colored pencils are a better choice. And here we have Mowgli and Baloo. And yeah, I'm trying to finish about 3 pages in here every month, so it is coming along nicely. And I do like how the pages turn out. They're not too complicated. I could also do them with acrylic paint, but I don't always feel like using acrylic paint. So colored pencils are just a bit easier to use because one layer in burnishing is usually enough to get a nice vibrant image. So yeah, those were my pages in portraits. Then we have nature, and the page I have done in here was from Brother Bear. Really cute, done with colored pencils. Not too complicated, but yeah, turned out pretty cute. That was my page in nature. Next up is Girl Power by Hachette Heroes, and this time I did work with acrylic paint, and I did this page of Moana or Vaiana, depending on whether you are in the US or in Europe. So yeah, I do really like the very nice finish. You know, you can't see any of the lines or numbers. So acrylic paint is really the winner, but it can be tedious to work with because it takes longer than colored pencils. You have to be a bit more careful. Sometimes you have to correct things when the color bleeds into each other. But yeah, the finish looks great. And I really like the very vibrant greens in here. So yeah, that was one page in Girl Power. And then we have Le Grand Classique Special Portraits. And I did the cover image, which is Aladdin. And as you can see by the very nice and smooth finish, I also did him in acrylic paint. Having these really nice large parts of it makes it a lot easier to work with the paint because sometimes I have shaky hand syndrome with the brush and the very detailed parts don't look very precise. But in that case, it turned out well because it doesn't have a lot of details. And yeah, I like how it turned out. There was another page in Les Grands Classiques Special Portraits. Then we're getting to the anime-themed pages, and we have Chibi Kawaii Cat Boys by Erin Zen. And I did this very cute cheerleader boy. He looks super adorable, done all in colored pencils. I didn't use any of the white highlights, well, except for the eyes and a bit of a cheek. How do you say that? When they're like have a bit of the white reflecting light on their cheeks. I don't know, but I think it looks cute. It's just part of my style. But yeah, I really like the brown of his hair, by the way. What set did I use? Oh, right. I used the Faber-Castell Black Edition for this page. Very, very nice color range. They have a set of 36, of 50, and of 100, and I have them all. So I have a couple of colors like 3 or 4 times. But that's nice. I like using them. So that was my page in Chibi Kawaii Cat Boys. Then we have the female equivalent, the Chibi Kawaii Cat Girls, and I did her. She's so cute, playing soccer. I really like the color combination of blue, yellow, and pink. Really nice. Brought in some green and teal in there as well. And yeah, for this image, I did use the white acrylic paint highlights. And yeah, I can't really decide whether it looks better or if it's just, you know, if it's just a minor detail and it's not even as noticeable. Still kind of trying to find my style there, but I do like how it turned out. She looks cute. I love anime, and I'm glad I have another page done in here. Then we have the Boys Edition by Erin Zen, and I did this guy. I did blonde hair and a green shirt. I think that's a combination I haven't done so far. Green is not really a color I use a lot besides floral elements, so I thought I would give him a green shirt. Yeah, looks pretty cute. Pretty standard, easy. I do like coloring folds. Also, again, added some white acrylic paint for more highlights and more contrast. And yeah, another page done in here and slowly working through this book. Boys Edition. Then we have another Anime Boys coloring book. It's this one, and I flipped through this. And I really like the style in here. It looks very sketchy but detailed at the same time. So the page I have done is this one, and you might recognize it, but when I saw that image, I immediately thought Frodo, just because of like the hair and the cape. So I immediately knew I would do the cape green and the hair brown. I also went with a brown getup. At first I thought I should give him like a white or grayish shirt or maybe a bluish tint. But then I thought, no, I would go brown up here, brown up there, and then have the yellow here in the middle, just as a form of color placement, I guess. And yeah, I didn't use, for the very bright highlights, like here or in the hair, I didn't use white acrylic paint. I actually erased the lightest color with an eraser pen. Not one of those electric ones. I just have one that looks like a pencil. So I should probably call it eraser pencil instead of pen. But yeah. And yeah, I like how it turned out. I think it looks like Frodo. He looks like super serious and determined to climb that mountain. Or at least get carried up that mountain, you know. But yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings. And I thought it would just be fun to make this character look like one of the characters in the Lord of the Rings. So in my mind, this is Frodo. I don't care what you think. But yeah, I like the page in this book. Then we have Demon Girls. And I really like the style in here too, because it has a bit of like different perspectives, close-ups, poses. And yeah, the girls in here look pretty cute. And I gave her pretty standard blonde hair, gave her red horns because the girl on the cover has red horns as well. And I wasn't really sure. At first I thought maybe I should make them black, but then maybe you wouldn't notice them as much. So I made red horns, red eyes, and then a blue top for... Oh yeah, by the way, she only had a line up here. There was not a line there. So technically she could have been naked. But I wanted to give her some clothes, so I just colored the parts where her clothes would be blue. So yeah, I like how she turned out. She looks pretty cute. And my first page done in this book. Then we have this anime and manga coloring book. I have done a couple of pages in here already, and the page for April was this one. I gave her a purple dress, because I haven't done that a lot. I use purple as an element, but I didn't give anyone a full purple dress. Did use yellow quite a lot, so yeah. Trying to keep my color combinations in a varying state. And yeah, pretty cute. Like how she turned out, very simple background. Not much to say, except for another page done in here. Then I did my first page in Animo by Luca Gosco, and this one is a color by number book that has very vibrant pages. Here in the back are they a bit bigger. And I really love how these turn out. I'm a big fan of these super fantasy colored animals. Careful. So this is the very first page, and I did it in acrylic paint, which is why you cannot see any of the lines and numbers that you usually would see. But I really like how these turn out. Super colorful and vibrant. And yeah, looking forward to work more in this book. And I'm also glad that I touched another untouched book, Animo. Then I finished another page in Mystery Colors Baby Animals. If you watch my completed pages videos, you have not seen this book in a while, because I had a forever whip for some reason, which was this page of this little, what I assume is a wolf puppy. I don't know why it took me so long to get back to the image, but I finally finished it. And yeah, it actually does have this strange highlights, as you can see here. It's not quite as vibrant, but yeah, you know, it's at least a forever whip finished, so it's no longer forever whip. Whatever, I'm starting to babble, sorry. But yeah, another page done in here. Hope to work more in this book, because it's one of the books I want to finish. Speaking of books I want to finish, we have the Colortronic, and I am pretty far in this one. And for April, I did the turtle. I love how they turned out. I love how it turned out. Super colorful. Of course, all acrylic paint, so it hides the lines and numbers. And yeah, I can't wait to have this book finished, because it's going to be just really nice to have this as a complete flip through on my channel, because I really like the images in here and I think they turn out rather gorgeous with acrylic paint. So yeah, glad to have finished another one in Colortronic. Same goes for Colortronic Animals, another page done in here, and it's the ostrich. Again, a very colorful, all done in acrylic paint. Really like how it turned out, and generally really like the images in here. They turn out super bright and vibrant and colorful. And yeah, as I said, another page done in here. Can't wait to finish these books and have them as complete flip-throughs. Just gonna be like an accomplishment, you know, to have an actual book finished. That took me quite some effort, because so far I only have these very simple color by number books finished. This is also a color by number book, but it takes more time and effort to work with the acrylic paint. So yeah, that was my page in the Colortronic Animals. Then we have Color by Colors Autumn, and I finished the last 3 pages I had to do in this one. And I can call it finished. Another book finished, yay. So I have this autumn forest scene. We have this basket. And we have the acorns. And that was the last page. Yay. So this book is done. I think this is like the 15th or 16th book, but as I said, they're all pretty simple color by number ones, but still, for me it's a bit of an accomplishment. I'm just glad I can have like a stack of books where I can say I finished all of those, and this is one of them. And another one, just as a bit of a bonus, is this stone mosaic one. I actually never showed you any finished pages or any form of progress, but yeah, I did finish it completely. I also used a couple of my alcohol marker sets where I had some unpopular colors. This is why sometimes there is a bit of an ugly blue. And yeah, but this is another finished book. So I have 2 finished books in April. That's nice. I feel very accomplished now. And yeah, I have been diamond painting a lot in the last few days, so I will probably go into May diamond painting. So I don't know how many pages I will have done by the end of May. I do hope for another like 30, between like 30 and 50. The last 2 months were really successful with 50 pages each, but that was just because I did literally nothing else in my free time except for coloring, well, and playing Genshin Impact because it's one of my favorite games. But yeah, let's see how that turns out. I am excited for May. I love the weather. I love the colors that I have. And before I say even more stupid things, I will just say thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and maybe see you in the next one. Bye.